Dragon Ball Super episode 52 is now listed in the history books, and today, guys, I want to go ahead and share my overall predictions and pertains to Dragon Ball Super episode 53. Keep in mind, guys, there will not be an episode coming up this week. In fact, Dragon Ball Super will resume on July 30th/31st. Now, today, guys, I want to go ahead and share my thoughts on Zamasu versus Goku. Now, again, keep in mind, this video will contain loads of spoilers, so if you guys haven't seen Dragon Ball Super episode 52, go ahead and watch the video, come back so we can talk more Dragon Ball Super. Now, again, I do want to specify and talk more about Zamasu versus Goku. Now, again, Black Goku's identity will be revealed during episode 53. Now, my personal prediction on this is the fact that I do believe that Zamasu does know of Black Goku's existence, and I think one of two things may occur. Either option A, Zamasu will tell Beerus, Goku, and Vegeta that he has no understanding as to who or what Black is, but in fact, in reality, is hiding the information behind their backs and indeed does know everything about Black Goku. Or option B, Zamasu does know of Black Goku and he confesses that possibly Black is a entity that was once serving Universe 10, but in fact he decided to go rogue. I do believe that in some way, shape, or form, Zamasu does have a connection with Black Goku. Can I be wrong? Absolutely, but I want to know your thoughts down below. Now, as listed, a lot of you guys felt so sorry for Gohan. Gohan having to be reduced to a scholar, eating ice cream with Future Trunks. That was something that I personally found very offensive in a way, because Gohan was once a very badass character during the Saiyan arc, during the Frieza arc, during the Cell saga, during the Majin Buu saga. This kid was growing up and kicking ass, and now he's growing up eating ice cream, trying to govern Pan into not breaking stuff. But again, you guys have to understand that at this point, I don't think that the focus is on Gohan anymore. The focus is more towards Vegeta, Goku, the Omni King, Beerus and Whis, and everyone else that comes after. So I do think that Gohan will have no further involvement in this arc. That is my personal prediction going into the future episodes of Dragon Ball Super, at least as of right now, because I can't really see Gohan having any sort of important role going further into this, because again, this is not really his fight, and that also kind of like leaves me to wonder that this isn't really Beerus or Whis' fight either. So I do think that both Beerus and Whis may stay out of this, because again, keep in mind, if it's not really involving them, then they don't really have any reason to step on forward in defending someone or, you know, resolving an issue aside from Whis, because similar to Golden Frieza, I do believe that Whis may do something to aid our characters in defeating Black, but as of right now, we really don't know who he is. A lot of you guys were speculating that indeed Zamasu is a shapeshifter, and in fact he is Black Goku, bearing the image of a Kaioshin, but in fact he turns out to be something else, something entirely different. Now, after reading your comments, a lot of you guys seem to actually, surprisingly enough, support Gohan during all of this. A lot of you guys do have faith in Gohan, in which case I will address in a future video, but as of right now, I do predict that next week's episode is going to involve Zamasu pretty much holding his own against Goku. I don't think that Goku is going to be able to put down Zamasu nor beat any information out of him. I do think this fight might end in a draw. In terms of Kaioshin standards, Zamasu is hailed as a very good fighter amongst everyone else. He is also labeled as an apprentice. So what does that mean? What is the apprentice? I mean, we all thought he was supposed to be like this god king, perhaps maybe the god of the Kais or whatever, but that turns out to be false, at least as of right now, because the labeling does list him as the apprentice. We do see him serving tea to someone, so obviously if you think about it, a god king would not serve tea to anybody. He would have tea be served to him. So I picked up on that, and I was like, wait a minute, alright, so if this dude's supposed to be all high and mighty, who is he serving tea to? So he's an apprentice, but an apprentice to who? We don't really know. He could be the apprentice of the older Kaioshin that we saw, you know, standing next to him during when he opened up the doors and stuff. So he could be the apprentice to that guy, or perhaps maybe this theory, you know, Zamasu may be the apprentice of Black Goku, which would be very wacky tacky yet very shocking at the same time if Black was actually controlling a Kaioshin and having an apprentice with that. So again, Akira Toriyama months ago spoke about a white-haired enemy, so you know, who knows, maybe Black isn't really the ultimate enemy. Maybe Black is just a pawn being used and orchestrated in this game, and maybe perhaps the true villain during this entire arc is in fact Zamasu. Zamasu could be the one pulling the strings here, but again, there is no proof or definitive evidence to back up the claims that he is in fact Black, aside from the keys being similar. So perhaps maybe even Zamasu created Black for the sole purpose of destroying humanity, because again, it was stated by Herms98 on Twitter that Black has a complete distrust of humanity. So if he doesn't like humans, that gives him all the reasons in the world not to leave his universe, but create something to destroy the humans. So he can be a creator, he can be somewhat of a deceiver, and after reading your comments, I do think that Goku is going to have a really fun time fighting this dude. Now, some of you guys were saying, Alex, Goku's not really trying. Of course Goku's not trying. Goku never tries. Like, right off the bat, even Vegeta pointed out to Trunks that Goku never ever takes a fight serious right off the bat, because to him, he always wants to test his, opponent first before making any moves. So obviously Goku is definitely not trying in this particular situation. We do see him fighting as a Super Saiyan 1/2. We don't see him going all out using Super Saiyan 3 or even Super Saiyan Blue. And even if he did, I think that Zamasu would be in big trouble. I mean, as we already know that. But my official prediction stands as this. I do believe that one of two things may occur. Either A, Zamasu is going to tell everyone that he has no idea what the hell they're talking about. He's probably going to play dumb at first and say, well, I don't know who Black is. I don't know how, he has the time ring. And that's what we saw during the preview. We saw them open up some sort of a box, and we saw like all these rings in there. And from what it looked like one of the rings was missing. So either A, Black in fact stole the ring, or he was given the ring by Zamasu. I think that Zamasu isn't going to be similar to Kaioshin, the Supreme Kai, when we saw him debut at the tournament against Piccolo when he first emerged during the Majin Buu arc, because everyone thought that he was going to be a bad guy, but he turned out to be a good guy. So I think that if Zamasu does the same thing, it'll possibly kill the tension that they got going on for Zamasu, because everyone right now assumes that this dude is evil. So for him to become a good guy, I mean, I think that Toei would pull a Frost on us and just allow us to be like deceived and say, oh well, we all thought he was bad, but in fact he's good. Even if he is good, what purpose does he serve in trying to combat against Black, So I think that either A, he's lying about Black and he's gonna say, well, I have no idea what you're talking about, he just came here and took the ring and went away, and I think that in fact he's lying. Or B, he's either gonna confess and say, well, I do know who he is, but in fact I don't know how to stop him because he did come here, take the ring and leave. So I mean, there's a lot of shady stuff going on here. I just think that the way the fight's gonna be presented, obviously Goku challenges him, he doesn't really challenge Goku, and keep in mind this is very far away. This is Universe 10. Beerus, Whis, and Goku have no involvement or reasoning to be there, aside of course Whis' investigation, because he is looking into the matter. He is trying to figure out how he has the time ring and stuff, because all these things are sacred, the key being similar and stuff. So I do think that Zamasu is definitely lying. In terms of Gohan, don't expect him to be involved in next week's episode. We have Trunks, who's trying to like settle on in and recollect himself after struggling and whatnot, because we saw what happened to him and we saw all the pain and suffering he went through. Honestly, the whole thing with little Mai is just borderline weird. We have a grown adult messing with a child, or at least this child seems to be falling in love with future Trunks, in which case she sees him as like this heavenly hero, and little Trunks is kind of jealous. He's like, well, what the hell's going on? Like he actually, I mean, as you can see during episode 52, Trunks is taking a liking upon Mai, but Mai doesn't seem to acknowledge him. She's actually acknowledging future Trunks more than little Trunks, which I find to be very weird. And of course that dates back to episode 51 when Trunks kneeled down and he was talking to her and stuff, and so she was blushing and whatnot. So I do think that she's infatuated with future Trunks, but future Trunks doesn't really notice that as of right now. Now the whole thing with future Mai, we saw her move her hand. Presumably enough, she's alive, but thus far we haven't really seen any indication, any scenes, anything about her having to be mobile and just walking around or just even conscious. Ever since she moved her arm, that was the only thing we were able to get out of that, was the fact that she was just alive, but nobody really knows what happened to her. So my prediction is that as we go on forward, possibly even episode 54, 55, 56, I do believe that we'll get to see and have an understanding as to what happened to her. I really doubt that Black Goku has found her. Even if Black Goku has found her, I think that he's going to hold her as bait to possibly bring in everyone else, especially Goku, because, Black definitely wants to test Goku's powers here, and I think that he's going to hold Mai hostage in order to simply draw out Goku's powers, because again, Black is obsessed with Goku's strength, so he doesn't want to utilize that and take that for himself. But comment down below and let me know your thoughts, guys, as to what may happen between Zamasu and Goku leading into next. Oh, I will say next week's episode, but next week isn't really an episode. Leading into the episode 53, I do think that he's definitely lying. In terms of Black Goku, however, how strong do you guys think he truly is in comparison to everyone else, in comparison to how people have made him out to be? I definitely think if he continues to steal energy, this guy is going to be a huge problem. And if in fact this does turn out to be Zamasu, I'm really curious as to why a Kaioshin decided to just go rogue and do his own thing and invade invade, you know, Universe 7 and pretty much destroy people on Earth and stuff. It's very weird to know that Black Goku's, you know, whole agenda is to destroy the humans on behalf of the gods, because, I mean, what reasoning is there for any god to look down on a human, especially in a vast, you know, complex universe where there's so much life out there? Why are we the biggest failures in Black's eyes compared to everyone else? I mean, I still stand on the fact that this is Zamasu, because if Zamasu distrusts humans and the way Black Goku has been speaking, you can kind of put the two together and just piece it all out. I'm also very curious to find out, you know, who was the Kaioshin that trained Future Trunks in his timeline. It could have been Kaio-sama, or it could have been someone else. I mean, they never really specified as to who, like, which Kai was the one to do so. And even if that was the case, whatever happened to that future Kai? Did Black find out who he was or where he was and just killed him off? Could be a possibility, but comment down below your overall thoughts and opinions, guys. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you guys are Dragon Ball fans, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content like this, daily uploads for you guys to go ahead and watch. If you guys are stoked for Dragon Ball Super episode 53, punch that like button right in the face, leave a like and a rating, all that good stuff down below, guys. Again, thank you all for watching. I mean, like, there's so much to talk about here, because you can kind of piece certain things together, and I think the evidence has shown that this could be Zamasu, and I still firmly stand by that. Now, like, there were several people out there saying that Zamasu has absolutely no involvement, which I find to be very strange, because Zamasu does, you know, hold kind of like some clues as to, like, maybe he does have some sort of involvement with Black, because the distrust of humans, the ring being missing and stuff like that. Like, especially if you're a Kaioshin, like, how could a time ring go missing under your watch? It just doesn't make any sense to me, at least. So leave your thoughts down below. Thank you all for watching once again. I hope you all enjoyed Dragon Ball Super episode 52. I hope you guys have a great weekend. God bless you all, and I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Peace.